Nigerians must brace up for tougher measures when flights resume. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria says there will be rigorous health checks at the airports, flight delays, and increase in airfares up to 45% when operations resume. Also, escorts of very important persons would no longer be allowed to follow up their principals into the terminals. Joining me now is Managing Partner Aglo Aviation Support Services, Tayo Ujiri. Good morning and thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to be here.
45% hike in airfare. I wonder how this comes to you, especially looking at the economic situation on the ground and how Nigerians are trying to grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic. Is that the way to go?
Thank you. I don't think it's just a suggestion by the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria is not the regulatory body for airlines tickets pricing. The pricing itself is actually competitive and submitted by each airline to the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. I'm sure what the Federal Airport Authority would have thought or was trying to communicate was the fact that there will be lots of cost which, due to the COVID-19 and extra measures are being put in place, would actually affect the cost of flying. But would that be immediate? The cost that of implementation will be immediate, but the cost would not be passed over to the passengers in the immediately, due to the fact that there are lots of underlying factors that determines the price of the ticket price. At the moment, there's still an issue of trust and fare and low passenger traffic, low passenger confidence. So to assuage that confidence and to reassure the passengers, we have to actually implement a layered approach, because at the moment we've still not found a silver lining solution to the COVID-19 pandemic yet. So to actually draw passengers to fly, we need to propose discount tickets, we need to propose tourism packages, we need to propose lots of options that would entice them to fly again, and then educate them that flying is safe at this time, because we've implemented measures such as disinfecting and sanitizing the aircraft with electromagnetic cleaning and sprays. We've been able to have high efficiency purifying air, the HAPA system, and ensure that all the social distances are in place, as well as users of masks. All this actually end up to ensure that the passengers are enticed and are able to come back to fly again. Once this is done, then we'll be able to evaluate the real cost of that to the airline, and it's a function of demand and supply.
All right, let's perhaps look closely at some of the suggestions being made by the Federal Airports Authority. You're talking about achieving social distancing at the airports. Are you confident that will be achieved, considering how our airports are as we speak?
I believe it can. It's a personal responsibility, like everybody has seen and we know. The good thing about the traveling public and the demography of the traveling public, to a great extent, I would say 80%, they're well informed, they're knowledgeable. It's the middle class or the VVIPs, like you rightly said. So they're informed of the need and the chances of catching the virus through close contact. So they're actually aware of the need for social distancing, and to ensure social distancing is enforced is to reduce the number of people that are going to the terminal, and as well as the space between each passenger. Other measures are put in place which we don't have, which we're trying to promote here, is electronic check-in. Once you have your electronic check-in, you can print your boarding passes prior to getting to the airport, and actually that reduces the time at the counter. Obviously, I'm not sure until now I know the airport has been fumigated and sanitized, but there needs to be a barrier barrier so that between the passenger and the check-in agent, so that there's actually that protection cover.
Interrupt your line of thoughts. Talking about online checking and the likes, we know the challenges we have, especially with network across Nigeria. Wouldn't that be a challenge? Do you see this pulling through over time?
Well, I don't think that that's an issue, because it's something that's been precedent prior to this time. Most of the traveling public check in online, and all you just do prior to this time is printing your boarding passes at the airport. But we've actually had, prior to post-COVID-19, lots of checking in online. What we now don't have is the self-check-in baggage or the drop of baggage options, which would have to meet an agent at the check-in counter to actually accept that bag and tag it appropriately. But the opportunity to check in is dependent on the passenger's internet at home or on their phones, and it's an option that's available at this time.
All right, Tayo, let's leave the conversation here. Thank you for speaking with us.
Always a pleasure.